Celestina. And so what more should we expect in this case now? When next is this coming up for trial? And what other steps are left? How many more witnesses are we likely to have examined in this matter?
Okay, well, the prosecution lawyer, Adegboyega Awomolo, senior advocate of Nigeria, had mentioned that when he objected to the adjournment for today, he mentioned that they had 5 other witnesses lined up ready to testify. That the adjournment that the defendants is seeking is to slow down the process. That this whole trial has a lifespan of over 10 years. And so far, this is the time that progress is being made, apart from when Justice Binta struck out some charges. So now he said that the defendants is just playing delay tactics. This was according to him. But the court said they should allow them and adjourn to 21st. So 21st of May will be back in the court, and the defense team will have the opportunity of cross-examining the prosecution's second witness, who is the DSS officer. I believe they will ask him questions in respect to the video, but they posed a question to him today, which is the interview they conducted with Nnamdi Kanu when he was back in Nigeria in 2021, that the interview was not complete, and also the interviewer's face was not shown, just his voice. But the witness said that that is the practice of the DSS, that the only person seen on camera will be the people being interviewed and not the interviewer. And we also recall that the prosecution had tendered certificates of compliance of these recordings that they had submitted and were admitted in court as exhibit. But so far so good. The defendants, as at that time, said they would not object, that they objected rather, but they will give the reasons for objecting to that admissibility of those documents at a later date. So feel maybe it will come up during the cross-examination. So 21st of May, we'll get to know more.
All right. So today is the 15th day of May 2025. And as we all know, that yesterday being the 14th day of May 2025, that our leader Nnamdi Kanu was in court. And of course, if you have been following me, or if you followed me yesterday, you will know that I dropped all the update of what happened in the court yesterday. Now, from the news we just watched, we are hearing that the federal government of Nigeria said that they still have 5 more people to testify against Nnamdi Kanu. Yes. Even though the person that testified yesterday makes it the second person that testified. Yes, BBB, the one that testified yesterday being the 14th day, made it the second person, because the first person has testified, AAA. So BBB has testified. And they are saying they still have, they still have 5 more people to testify. Well, that is not a problem for me. If you ask me personally, it's not a problem. But the only problem I'm having is this. If you testify, and they ask you a question about your testimony, you should be able to defend it. Yes, I'm saying this because of what we saw in court yesterday. For some of you that followed me, you saw what happened, where almost all the questions they are asking BBB, he was not able to answer them. He was just saying, I'm not aware, my lord. I am not aware, my lord. I don't know, my lord. I don't know. And it's just crazy. I said it yesterday and I'm saying it again. It's not about getting thousands and millions of people that will come and testify. It's not a problem. But let them be able to answer when they are asked questions about what they are testifying about. You can't say that you can't accuse somebody of killing somebody, and then when they ask you, how did it happen? Were you there? You say, yes, you were there. How did it happen? Or you tell us what happened, who pushed who first attacked who. You're not able to answer. It doesn't really make any sense. You get? So let them be able to answer the questions when they are being asked. That is just my point. Now, I also thank God yesterday they talked about, of course, the first person that testified, made mention of Nnamdi Kanu forming ESN. Yes, and it became another news. But yesterday, I thank God they were able to mention about the security outfit that the people in the West formed, even though they didn't talk much about it. But I saw it and I read it out yesterday, which I'm still going to read out now. When they said, they asked the witness, Kanu Agabi asked the witness, Southwest governors came together to agree to form a vigilante group. I'm aware the governors did so. Did you get a letter from AGF to complain about the killings of innocent people? Now the witness answered, I'm aware the Southwest governors formed Omoteku. You get it? I'm aware they formed Omoteku. However, this was not discussed extensively. Maybe in the next court, they will also discuss about this, because they formed Omoteku in the west, and ESN was formed in the east. And of course, we have the militant in the south. And of course, we have the one in the north, right? There's another one, I've forgotten the name, in the north. So, why the accusation? Anyway, let them just bring it on. However, I will also remind you that Nnamdi Kanu will appear in court on the 21st day of this May, just in a couple of days to come. So I'll still be here live and direct to bring you all the updates of whatever will happen. And of course, after that 21st and 22nd of May 2025. 2025. So I'll be here live and direct to get you all the updates that will happen there. So all you need to do is just to subscribe to this channel. And as you subscribe, you turn on your notification button so that anytime I get you an update, you'll be able to get the notification and know what is happening. Because at this point, I tell you, you need to know what is happening. You don't need somebody to tell you, because somebody can actually give you wrong information. But on this channel, I give you to you as it is, and not just as it is. I give it to you with evidence. If I tell you that this is this, I will tell you where it is said or where it is written. So that is why you can beat your chest on this channel and say, yes, this is a true channel. Now, I'm going to allow you to watch the analysis they gave on Arise TV, on Channels Television, about Nnamdi Kanu's court case yesterday. So as you're watching it, you can also do well to drop your comment on the comment section as we wait for the 21st day of May 2025. But before then, I can still get you, I will still certainly be getting you all the updates of everything that is happening in Biafra land and in Nigeria as a whole, right? So please watch this.
Hello and thank you for joining us on TVC News at 1. I'm Abosede Adeniwa. We are staying with the trial of Nnamdi Kanu at the Federal High Court in Abuja, where the lead counsel has clarified that he was not denied access at the DSS facility. At the resumed sitting before Justice James Omotosho, Kanu Agabi SAN explained that the post made by Aloy Jimako, a member of his team, on social media, suggesting that he was not allowed to see Nnamdi Kanu, was misleading. He admitted to have arrived at the DSS facility alone, but was informed that the names of expected visitors had not arrived. The court was not pleased with the action of Mr. Jimako, who without confirmation made such publication. The judge asked him to refrain from making such allegations and posting court documents online as a legal practitioner. During cross-examination, the prosecution's second witness tendered the death certificate of Ahmed Gulak, a special advisor on political affairs to former President Goodluck Jonathan. He was allegedly killed by suspected IPOB members in 2022. Our senior reporter, Celestina Rial, who has been monitoring developments there, joins me live now from Abuja for more. Celestina, help us better understand this clarification being made by Kanu Agabi SAN and its implication.
Okay, well, about today, we recall that at the last adjourned date, the court adjourned so Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer can confer with him, because they will also have cross-examined the second witness, but his lawyer stood up to say that they've not had time to confer with Mr. Kanu, and they need to ask him some questions in respect to the videos that was played in court at the last adjourned date and some of the statements made by the prosecution's second witness. So it was on that instance the court adjourned to today. So today, the court needed to clarify the post made by one of the Nnamdi Kanu's lawyers, who actually was the lead counsel before Kanu Agabi took over. He made a post saying that DSS had denied Kanu Agabi, who is a senior advocate of Nigeria, access to Nnamdi Kanu. But in court today, Mr. Agabi clarified that he was not denied access, as you read from the report that he had gotten to the DSS facility, but the list of visitors had not arrived. And also, he had other engagements, so he went about his duty, but that does not translate to him being denied access. Down to the main course of today, before cross-examination could start, the prosecution asked the court that he needs to finish with the witness before the defendants could take over, which is tendering a certificate, a death certificate of the former aide of Goodluck Jonathan, who died during the course of this incident, which the prosecution has said was caused by alleged suspected members of iPod, because at the last adjourned day, the witness had mentioned that the broadcast made by Nnamdi Kanu allegedly incited violence, resulted to the loss of properties and also life. Among those lives was that of Ahmed Golak. So the prosecution needed to tender that evidence to back up their statement. So they tendered it. So we move about to cross-examination by the defense team. The witness, which is Mr. BBB, a senior officer of the DSS with over 20 years of experience, was asked that what does it make of the solitary confinement of Nnamdi Kanu? Then he said that solitary confinement is not a practice of DSS. He was also asked if the charges are not speculative. He said he did not prepare the charge. He was only in charge of investigation, which is, well, he said that he was among the team that brought Mr. Kanu from Lagos to Abuja when he was brought back to Nigeria in 2021. So he said he was not involved in preparing the charge. But we also recall that the charge were 15 in number, and Justice Binta Anyanku, the judge that previously handled the case, struck out 8, leaving 7 counts. And that 7 count went up to the Supreme Court and now back at the Federal High Court. So, but also, as the cross-examination was going on, Mr. Kanu Agabi asked that the court adjourn, because according to him, there are some documents they need from the police to prove the innocence of the defendants, of their clients rather, which they have not gotten. So they need time for the police to respond to those documents. But the prosecution has objected because the court had granted accelerated hearing in the matter, which means the case ought to go to day or very short adjournment. But Justice James Omotosho said, for the interest of justice, they should allow the defendants have the time with the police and get all the documents they need. And the court adjourned to 21st of May for continuation of hearing.
Celestina, and so what more should we expect in this case now? When next is this coming up for trial, and what other steps are left? How many more witnesses are we likely to have examined in this matter?
Okay, well, the prosecution lawyer, senior advocate of Nigeria, had mentioned that when he objected to the adjournment for today, he mentioned that they had 5 other witnesses lined up ready to testify, that the adjournment that the defendants is seeking is to slow down the process, that this whole trial has a lifespan of over 10 years. And so far, this is the time that progress is being made, apart from when Justice Binta struck out some charges. So now he said that the defendants is just playing delay tactics. This was according to him. But the court said they should allow them and adjourn to 21st. So 21st of May will be back in the court, and the defense team will have the opportunity of cross-examining the prosecution's second witness, who is the DSS officer. I believe they will ask him questions in respect to the video, but they posed a question to him today, which is the interview they conducted with Nnamdi Kanu when he was back in Nigeria in 2021, that the interview was not complete, and also the interviewer's face was not shown, just his voice. But the witness said that that is the practice of the DSS, that the only person seen on camera will be the people being interviewed and not the interviewer. And we also recall that the prosecution had tendered certificate of compliance of these recordings that they had submitted and were admitted in court as exhibit. But so far so good. The defendants, after that time, said they would not object, that they objected rather, but they will give the reasons for objecting to that admissibility of those documents at a later date. So feel maybe it will come up during the cross-examination. So 21st of May, we'll get to know more.
Celestina Area for us in Abuja. Thank you so much for that update.
Nigeria has an Igbo problem. So it's a multi-generational issue. It's like when a father is dying and they are not Igbo, they will tell their son, please, I have problem with Igbo people, continue from there. Because that's the only way I can explain that. And I understand it came from the Civil War. And so, because I was surprised that Tinubu would even take Nnamdi Kanu's case, more than 2 days after he came into office. I expected that just as he was declaring against subsidy, he would just say, look, for national cohesion and whatever lie you want to tell, we're going to let this man go for now and figure out how to resolve our differences. But the fact that they even go worse shows that It's just like there's a secret file somewhere that said, look, don't open. No, just continue where we stop. But beyond that, I also know that there are some Igbo elites who are complicit in it, because there was a time they were having conversation about it, and they said, no, please, let's have election first. And then after the election, the devil intervened more. But the most important thing is not to even reduce it to that alone, is that something about the Nigerian state and the Nigerian nation and how they see Biafrans. So, and I think it came from the Biafran war. Maybe because people like us didn't participate in the war. That's the reason we feel this way. Because I was born in 1971. I cannot carry, I don't have a multi-generational cause, or conspiracy against Igbos. But I genuinely, and I've said it several times, and I'm not saying it's based on what I know. There's no, even the Supreme Court was this shy of saying, look, this guy did nothing, he broke his bail. In fact, I told Nnamdi Kanu lawyer that they should not reapply for bail, because the Supreme Court has reinstated the bail practically from what they said. But they went and reapplied, and there's no way, and I'm saying it, there's no way Nnamdi Kanu is going to get justice from a federal high court, a court of appeal, or Supreme. It's impossible, except if the state decides that, because Nnamdi Kanu is the official prisoner of whomever is the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So I know what it means to be, they have to go to the president every morning and report that you're still alive, or you're eating, or you are on hunger strike. So, but at this time, he's an official prisoner of the president. And anything that is official to the president doesn't let go.
An Igbo man will never become the president of this country. Yes, an Igbo man will never become the president of this country. When I see comments like this on my thread, I begin to wonder, what is the state of mind that evolved this kind of comments? You see, when I see people lost in the labyrinth of this conjecture, I now begin to realize the type of wickedness, the type of hatred, the type of disunity that some politicians, perhaps in the past, may have sown in Nigeria. So, if you don't want an Igbo man to become president, and yet you that says you don't want an Igbo man to be the president of Nigeria, you are the same person that cries, one Nigeria, the unity of Nigeria is sacrosanct, Nigeria is an indivisible entity, blah, 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 all these rhetorics that suggest that one part of the country will rule, the other ones you follow. These are the same people that will cry wolf when an Igbo man says, break the country and let us go. What exactly is going on here? Why are these set of people so intoxicated with the idea that the leadership of this country must belong to a certain portion of this country, while the rest of us play the act of sit down and look? Let me tell you what is going on here. Now, trust me, I am not saying this to market the Igbos. There are bad leaders in Igbo language, there are bad leaders in Yoruba, there are bad leaders in Fulani. There are bad leaders everywhere.
All right. So you have seen it. What do you think? Very well. Please do well to drop your comment on the comment section. What you think, all right? And do not forget to subscribe. Thank you very much. I'll see you in my next video. God bless you.